Welcome to season 3 of No Shelf Control, the podcast with books, booze, and banter hosted by authors for readers, because let's face it, we're all bookworms at heart.
This season, we're reading and discussing indie books, and we couldn't be more excited to be spreading the word about other independent authors like ourselves. I'm Lindsey Sparks.
And I'm Lindsey Pogue. Grab a beverage, kick back, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the very first episode of season 3. We said we were going to be changing things up a little bit, and we are. As Lindsey Sparks said when we started, this season we're going to be reading and discussing indie books.
Yes, and I am so excited.
Yeah. So we already have like a big long list, and we're excited to dive in.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think
the last season was fun. Doing like the book talk and the adaptations. The adaptations was like really time intensive. Mm-hmm. But it also locked both of those things. Not all of the books that are big on book talk or Bookstagram are traditionally published, but most of them are. And it definitely swayed us towards kind of like pinned us in to like having to stick with traditional. Like we found some, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But especially the adaptations really.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it was really nice. I'm really excited that we get to like branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm excited too. We have a fun list, all different genres.
We keep adding so many books.
Yeah, so it's not all romance, it's not all sci-fi, it's not all. I mean, we're kind of all over the place here. So we got some contemporary, we have some fantasy, we have a little bit of everything. Today we're going to be talking about, I guess it's more mythology, fantasy based. So, anyways, so welcome to our first episode of the new season. Shall we begin?
We shall.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the big obvious question. What are you drinking?
Water.
I also have water. I know I'm lame. I actually really wanted to, I was thinking since 3:00 this afternoon, I was like, I'm gonna have a glass of bubbles tonight. And then 4:00 came around. I was like, I'm gonna have bubbles tonight. Then 5:00, 6:00, and I'm like, I'm so tired.
If I have bubbles, I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah. So I was like, no. So anyways, I'm sorry, you guys. But that will not always be the case. I have to, drink for the team here for our homies who might actually be drinking when they're listening to this.
I promise I will be back on the wine in like 3.5 months.
That's so funny the way you said that. I'll be back on the wine. Like it's an IV going back into your blood or something. Oh my God, I love it. Anyway, so we're drinking water, nothing fascinating there.
Ice in my water, which is...
Damn, you beat me. I don't have ice in mine.
It feels extra fancy for me because our ice maker has been broken for a very long time.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I need the ice. And so I found an ice trays have gotten a lot fancier since I last bought an ice tray. It has like a bucket underneath of it, and then like ice trays that sit on top, so it like stores the ice inside the bucket. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about it.
That's cool. No, I mean, it's those little like creature comforts that you don't realize.
Especially I love ice water.
Well, with you being pregnant and going into summer, that's a big must for you. Well, I mean, I'm not even pregnant. That would be a big must for me. So yeah. Well, that's cool. It's exciting. Yeah. So you're fancy pants. You beat me.
Yeah, I'm fancy with my jingly ice.
And you even showered right before.
And
so you're
I
even
showered
more fancy.
Yet again. It's like my trend.
I like it. Okay. What are you working on?
I finished, as you know.
Yeah.
But they don't. I finished the last book in the Atlantis series. This one was hard for me to write. My brain is like half there. But I did it. I was really happy with how everything ended and wrapped up. And it's with beta readers like Lindsey. And it just felt, this one was funny. Like usually I'm like excited, like that I finished, there's like a sense of accomplishment. This one was just like a huge sense of relief. I was like, oh my God. So like I had some big hard deadlines that I had to meet, not only the pre-order, but then like the baby, and I also have the Kickstarter deadline right around the same time. Everything just kind of piled up unintentionally at the same time.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah. And it's like, I could have moved the Kickstarter, but I really wanted to launch it on the day of the 10th anniversary, since these are the 10th anniversary editions. And so that kind of locks me into August 16th.
Yeah.
And when I postponed this book, which is called Rise of the Revenants, when I postponed this book, it was originally supposed to come out in July. Amazon lets you push back 1 month, one time for each book.
Well, Amazon, thanks for doing us a favor.
Thanks. I know. If they would have,
nobody else cared. No other distributors.
No, any other
cared.
distributor, they'll let you push it back as much as you want, but Amazon gives you 1 month. Like if they could give me another one, I would have just taken another month and like had that breathing room and done it in the middle of September. It wouldn't matter if that was
right
when the baby was here. I mean, like that's the wrap up time. But anyway, yeah, I'm really happy that that's done. But other than that, I've been working on all the stuff that I haven't been doing. Like cleaning my office. You can see my garbage bag behind me.
Nice.
Right here. So I am cleaning my office. I have my Kickstarter pre-launch page up. I'll put the link in the show notes. But I think it's just like whatever Kickstarter.com / probably the Echo Trilogy, or maybe just Echo Trilogy. I don't know. If you look up the Echo Trilogy or just Echo Trilogy or Lindsey Sparks on Kickstarter, it'll come up. But I'll put the link in. And I've been doing cover reveals. So I'm doing the second cover reveal. There's 3 books, obviously it's a trilogy. I'm doing these are for special edition hardcovers, super fancy foil, like beautiful illustrations. But I did the second cover reveal is tomorrow from when we're recording it. So it'll already be revealed when this goes live on Monday.
Nice.
But I have pulled out my like visual aids here. So I got these printed. These are the actual illustrations for the, this is the illustration for book 1 for the dust jacket. Like you can see Hatshepsut's mortuary temple in the back.
Oh, cool.
And then this is the one that gets revealed tomorrow. But like I said, this podcast, by the time it comes out, this is the illustration for book 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry, but it's not actually blurry in real life.
No, I know what you mean.
But yeah, definitely go check those out just to see the pretty images. They're so pretty. And then I'll be doing the book 3, the final cover reveal next week. And then I can really start going crazy with sharing stuff. So I'm really excited.
Cool.
About finally being able to share stuff.
Yeah, I do feel like you've been talking about it for a long time. So I'm sure that is a relief.
Yeah. Like I have I've been working on the actual interiors, just so I can finally get the final page count to the cover designer who has been so lovely to like not be putting any pressure on me. But I really want to get her to the final page count so we can like wrap up our contract and everything. And so that's what I'm working on right now, is like getting all the interiors and all the special extra goodies stuff, like at least placeholder pages in there for a lot of those things that I haven't, like I'm going to make a timeline and stuff and I haven't done that yet. And I have, all these to-dos.
Yeah.
But there's like a ton of bonus stories and things, and those I can put in there already. And that can tell me like the actual page count and stuff. So
cool.
Oh, it's just really exciting to finally be here, finally be doing this. I feel like I've been looking forward to this, to like just really being able to focus on this project for a really long time. So that's where I am right now. And it's been really fun.
Good.
Yeah.
It's nice to change gears, especially if you feel like it's been a slog for the other stuff.
Yeah. The shorter form writing, like the serials, has not been difficult for my brain, but the like holding on to a story, I don't know, pregnancy does a weird thing with brains where it just like sucks away the ability to think. But it's like holding on to the length of the story has been extremely difficult. This time worse than the other 2 times. So I'm like, that has been the biggest relief, just to be like, I don't have to like keep track of this story anymore.
Cool.
So what about you?
And breathe it out.
Yeah, totally.
I had a really fun day. I was online writing a chapter for Born of Salt and Sea for my like VIP REAM subscribers, and I was doing it live, and they were hanging out with me.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. There were a couple of them there hanging out with me, and it was kind of strange, not in a bad way, but you know, just like,
were you like sharing your screen or?
Yeah, I was sharing my screen, so they could work and, you know, go to the vet and whatever they were doing, but they were there like chatting off and on and stuff, and asking me questions, and it was just fun. It's only just strange because you have to get used to like sitting here, like they can hear everything. So if I'm slurping in my you know, cup here, then I'm like, they can hear it. If I'm crunching on, you know, dried fruit, they can hear it. If I'm cussing, they can hear it.
I think I like talk to myself when I get really into a scene. Oh yeah, I start speaking the dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
Patting myself on the back.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do it probably a couple times a month. I'm going to be doing it only, I think, when I'm working on this story, because I'm writing the story differently than the other ones. But we'll see. I don't know. It's new for me doing it this way, but it all worked out really well, and it was fun. And at one point, it was funny because I had switched sharing my screen to a different browser so they could see I was showing them something that I was looking up, or like a tool that I thought that would be really cool for them to know about. And then I went back to writing, and then after like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, when I was like, are you writing right now? Because we're still on the other screen. I'm like, oh shit, sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
They just hear me breathing into the mic, probably clacking. They're like,
clack, 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 clack. Yeah. You know, it's funny when I'm curious if any of your people said it, but when I would do, I would do like my writing in Discord, just in like audio, so people could hear me. They couldn't even see what I was writing, but they could hear me if they wanted to like be chatting with me. And they said it was just like it was like ASMR. Just
yeah, no, I didn't say anything about that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think for me, it's already hard for me I get distracted so easily. So I think the more I do this, I think I'm hoping that it will help me like stay focused, you know. But then I also, they ask me a question, then I go off, you know, I go off on tangents. It's like 5 minutes later and I'm like, oh, okay, back to writing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll get used to it. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. So
I think that's why I haven't ventured into like YouTube Live or anything like that for writing sessions, because I just feel like I would be like not writing.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's what I did today, and I had a lot of fun. So that's my fun report.
That is fun.
So I'm just going to be really honest and say that I have listened partially to so many books, and I'm not even going to name them because I haven't finished any of them, because none of them are like really grabbing my attention.
You're in a slump.
I'm in a slump. So, and I haven't had time to paper read anything. So yeah, other than the book that we read for tonight, which we'll talk about, I don't really have anything to recommend. How about you?
I just started
book 17 of
11, book 11 of The Hollows. It's called Ever After, and I think there's one more after this of like the original series, and then she did like, it's kind of like a reboot series that continues. But it was really interesting because Kim Harrison had ended the series, like she was planning for the series to be done, and I don't know if she was like stricken by an idea, or if the publishers were like, please, 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 or I'm not sure, but somehow it got restarted. And I mean, I'm very happy with it. I think I read the first book in the like reboot part. So I'm excited. There's like 3 or 4 more out since then. And I'm really excited to be like fully up to date on the series.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe by the time you start drinking again, you might be done with the series because you'll have more time to listen to books.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's
yeah.
Being up late at night with a baby has always been an audiobook listening time for me.
Yeah.
You have to do something to stay awake.
You like pass out. The baby's
no, because then you might smother it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like you wake up and somebody's screaming. Whoops, sorry.
I have too much anxiety. I have to find something to make sure, guarantee that I'll be awake. So, or some like silly cell phone game or just something.
June's Journey.
What?
It's a June's Journey.
What is that?
That's that. It's like that. I've been playing it for so many years. I'm sure I've told you about it like way back when, but it's like a seek and find. They time you and you have to find all the things that they tell you to find in the scene.
Oh,
it's fun. I'm addicted. I mean, again, I have like 5 islands. I've been doing it for seriously like probably 5 years or something. I've been playing this game. Never once spent a dime on it though. Okay, I just not even a penny.
That's how my husband is with his game that he plays. I don't know what it's called. He was playing Homescapes for a long time.
Oh yeah, I see the commercial or the little ads for that.
I think he like built all the house or whatever, however it works. He did all the stuff. And then he just kind of got bored with it. But he was like, I refuse to pay for anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna earn everything that I get. Now he has a different game, but it's the same way.
Dennis is still playing Clash of Clans, by
seriously?
The way. That's been like 10 years, yeah, or however
at
long.
least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, him and my cousin play, and he has a clan, and he's very serious about it. He's never paid for anything either, but he's like, I have an hour and a half to go to war. I'm like, okay. And he goes, I'm just letting you know. I'm like, okay, you do whatever you need to do. That's your one guilty pleasure. Do it.
I cannot believe he still plays that.
I know. He does. Totally does. In fact, half the time I walk in the bedroom because he's passed out playing his game when he's trying to go to bed and it's laying on his chest. And I'm like, let me close up your game for you. And I hope you're not doing anything important. Anyway. All right. We're going to dive into book stuff. But before we do, this is the official spoiler warning alert. I'm going to read the blurb and then we will dive into
this book. I don't think we've announced it.
Oh, we haven't. Oh my goodness. Yes. Sorry. Tonight we're talking about House of Eclipses by Casey L. Bond. Sorry about that. How did I forget to even announce that? Yeah. So, and we actually, if you guys have been listening to us for a long time, since season 1, Casey actually came on, Shield and Ink and Bone, I think is what it's called. And, oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Shield of Ink and Bone, I believe is the one we read last time. It was a Viking one. It was really good. Very cool. You have the fancy version.
Yeah, I got it off of her Etsy store.
Oh,
it's
fun.
signed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's the other thing that I'm really excited about the indie authors is I'm really excited. I want to like buy their
cool
books.
Stuff.
Like, I want to have an indie author shelf. Like, so
that's a good idea.
Yeah. One of my fancy book subscriptions that I have, the Arcane Society, I don't know if they only do indie authors, but they at least mostly
primarily.
Yeah. It's really nice.
That'll be fun. Yeah. I didn't think about that. That's a good idea. Okay. So House of Eclipses, that's what we're talking about tonight. It's what we read. And here we go. Spoilers ahead. Capture his heart, steal the crown, free my kingdom. Nor is the unwanted, unloved third born of the Aten, right? That's how they say it. Chosen vessel. Aten? Yeah. Aten. Chosen vessel of the sun goddess, Sol. When she has no chance at inheriting her father's title, what she truly longs for is peace from his unrelenting hatred. Hope builds that she may finally be able to claim that reprieve when a missive arrives from the House of the Moon. The new Lumen, chosen by the moon god Lumos, seeks to broker peace with the kingdom of Helios for the first time in ages. He envisions open trade routes and an end to archaic rivalries. His dedication to this cause extends to visions of union between the two families by marrying one of Aten's daughters if one of the matches is a fit. Sorry. Driven by his own twisted agenda, Nor's father is willing to sacrifice his daughters as pawns to steal the crown for him to further his despotic reign. But Nor has other ideas. For whomever wears the crown of moonlight holds the power of the moon itself. With such strength at her command, she can finally defeat her tyrannical father. Yet this endeavor cannot be accomplished without great sacrifice. As Nor learns more about Lumen Calum, guilt over her betrayal consumes her, burning hot as the sun itself. If only he wasn't kind and selfless and exactly what she wanted. If only she had greater dominion over her heart. ... Can Nor carry out her plan and end her father's vile reign? Or will unlikely alliances allow a new day to dawn? So there we have it, folks. All right. So I'm going to start off by asking, because you put this on the list, did you know what it was about when
this book first came to my attention when Casey tagged me in a post talking about this book was the picture, and she was talking about books about that were inspired by Egyptian mythology. So she had mentioned the Echo trilogy. And I was like, ooh, what is this pretty book that she has there? So then I was like, I want to read that book. And so then when we decided we were going to do indie authors, I was like, I want to do this one.
Got it. Okay, I was just curious because I've seen the cover and I've heard about it, for as long as we've known her. And I
am such a sucker for black and gold covers. I don't know what my deal is, but like, I just love the black and gold.
So, so I was just curious if you knew what it was about going into it. And I listened to it. What did you end up doing? I know you were kind of going back and forth. I read
part and I listened to it. I would have preferred to have read more from the hardcover. But just time-wise, it didn't work out. My nighttime reading issues continue in terms of like, I can do like a chapter and then I'm like, like it doesn't matter what I'm reading.
Yeah.
I am asleep. So
no, I understand.
So I mostly listened. But it wasn't my favorite narration, so that's why I would have preferred to have read with my eyeballs.
I struggled because a lot of the names kind of sound familiar, and without being able to read it on page to see how it's spelled, I think that would have been so much more helpful. Like Kieran and Calum, I know they
yes. So when I was listening, I kept like transposing them in my head, and I'm like, wait,
I forget his name, but yeah,
is it Kieran? I think it's now I'm thinking Kieran is the wolf. Kieran is the Wolven in from Blood and Ash.
I don't know. Anyways,
the priest.
Yeah, but
what is his name?
That's his name, though, right?
Calum is the Lumen.
Yeah, that's the
he's the
king of the moon.
Whatever his name is.
People.
Kieran. Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, it took me a long time to get all the characters straight because they all sounded similar. And again, without being able to see them written down, I think that would have helped greatly. So I would have preferred to have read this one for sure.
Yeah, another one with the audio that was confusing for this book specifically is the main character's name is Nor, and her title is Atena. And when the narrator would say Atena Nor, I kept thinking her name was Anor. Even though I had read it with my eyeballs and I knew her name was Noor, I was like, this is throwing me off.
Yeah.
A lot. And then the other thing, well, this isn't specifically about the audio, but that threw me off was a 10 is an Egyptian god, the sun disk, made famous by Akhenaten, who is one of the pharaoh who kind of had like an alien shaped head.
Yeah, he's like the heretic king, essentially, of
he's very famous
Egyptian
because he did some crazy stuff. And so tons of people study him. But so then I kept thinking that was like the only, other than that, like they were in a desert, that was the only like Egyptian-y name. And so that kept throwing me off. I was like, wait, no, that's their title. They're not talking about a god. And I kept like, because I am so like immersed in Egyptian mythology that I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, that was one I definitely feel like I would have liked to have read that one with my eyeballs, which I feel like
I wish that I had more time to read it with my eyeballs.
Yeah. But overall, like, did you enjoy the story?
Yeah.
I did too.
I also didn't go into it knowing that it was YA.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So it's like older YA. She's turning 17. Because I think YA can span from 12 or 13 to 18 or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, I knew nothing about this book whatsoever. But I enjoy Casey's work, so I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be good, and I wasn't disappointed. I really, really enjoyed the world building, and the characters and everything. So I'm excited.
I liked that it was like romantic fantasy, or fantasy romance, historical fantasy romance, or
I think it's romantic fantasy.
Romantic fantasy, because it's not even like real. It's not like Earth set. It's somewhere else. A different place. But collect your thoughts, Lindsey. Come on. I liked that the fantasy, that it wasn't like crazy over the top superpowers, like it was, the fantasy element was like really subtle, but also like really deeply interwoven into like every aspect of the story and these civilizations. And like I feel like she really thought about what this like premise of these two gods, basically the sun and the moon, Sol and
Lumen.
Lumos.
Shit.
The Lumen is the title, I think. Lumos is the god.
Okay.
So Sol is the sun goddess and Lumos is the moon god. And they've been like divided, like permanently. They're like in love, but they've been separated. And so the whole thing is to like try to get it so that there's day and night again, basically. So like, Solara, is that the name of am I making that up?
Who? What?
Their town, their city, or their country?
Oh, I don't remember. Again, this is hard. I had nothing to look at for notes, so I just had to go based on what I could sort of gather from my.
Well, so the sun land is like scorching hot, and always sunny. There's like no nighttime. And then the moon land is like cold, and when the moon sets, it's like pitch black, like darkness. And so it's like basically Noor's whole quest. She doesn't even know what she's supposed to be doing, but as she comes to realize it, is that she's supposed to like fix this problem, and it's fun. I
really thought the world building was really beautiful. Like I felt like I could feel the sun and the sand, and I felt like I could see the beautiful like glowing nighttime, so I really
would have liked the moon land.
Yeah.
It's like, my pale skin is made for that place.
Yeah, I just felt like it was probably like a really pretty like glowing garden at some point, just because like everything, No, I really enjoyed the world building too, and I would actually love to pick her brain and just kind of figure out, how did she, just dreamed up this story, randomly, because she's really good. I feel like she writes a lot. I mean, everything she writes is fantasy, but everything is so different from water to fae to witches to vampires to Greek or loosely based maybe Egyptian mythology, Viking stuff. Like it's all really cool. So it's exciting. I guess I'm aspiring to be her one day. I feel like I would love to write all those things too. So anyway, what did you think about the two main characters? So the love interest, we had Nora, you're saying she's essentially, obviously she's the main character, the protagonist. And then you have Calum, who is the king of, we'll essentially say the
Yeah, it's
Moonlands.
it's like a I'm blanking on what the word, but it's
like a pharaoh.
No, well, I mean, yeah, like he's like a priest king, but their form of government is like religion government.
Okay, yeah,
whatever that's called. Something ocracy, obviously. But yeah, so he's like the leader of the moon people, and then she's the daughter of the leader of
like the third hated daughter of the
unnecessary throwaway daughter.
Yeah. So they would have you believe.
Yeah.
But I liked both their characters. I thought that they were really well written and they were believable. And I feel like sometimes female characters can kind of annoy me, and I didn't really feel that way. And he seems pretty dreamy. So
he does seem pretty dreamy.
Yeah.
She was really strong for everything that she had been through. Sometimes, I don't know if did you ever read The 100,000 Kingdoms? N.K. Jemisin? So parts of her reminded me of, I want to say the main character's name is like, I don't know how you pronounce it, Yrene. It's Yrene, I think, is the main character in The 100,000 Kingdoms. And some things about her reminded me about Nor reminded me of that character in terms of the like difficulties, just the terrible situation that she was in. Yeah.
Oh, just to back up for a second, it kind of goes into world building, I guess, and deals with the characters, but I thought it was really cool. Her power that she had that started manifesting was awesome, with like her eyes glowing from the actual sun, and
she's like melting stuff.
Yeah, she like grabbing onto gold tables and melting it. And then I thought it was really cool that the crown was in his body, like etched in his body and glowed in the moonlight. And oh, that was so cool. I thought that was really nice. Yeah. Speaking of world building / awesome characters.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I sent you this question. Well, there's two of them, and there's a lot of reveals in this, a lot of kind of twists. And so, what do you like? Let's start with Veda. Is that how I think you say her name?
I think so. The mom.
Yeah. So she poses in the beginning, when Nor first goes to Lumina or Lumen or whatever it's called. Anyway, the moon place, Moon Kingdom,
Moonland.
When she first goes there, Beta's the mom, but she poses as one of the maids, and so I'm curious if you saw that coming at all.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
That she was the mom? I didn't see that coming. I mean, I thought she was special and maybe important, but I didn't think that she would be the mom.
So. I don't know why. I did. Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
No, that's yeah. So, and then one of the other ones is that Baron is his brother, who is very cocky, and he tests and really kind of pushes boundaries with Nor, because he's testing her to see how she really feels, and he even goes so far as to see if her sister will kill her, poison her, like all this stuff. So come to find out, right, he's actually like the most loyal protector of his brother. And not just that, he's actually like a shifter. He turns into
he's like a magical shifter.
Yeah. So did you see that coming?
So I was just thinking about this. I saw him being a wolven, like when the wolf was following her when she ran off. That's before the reveal. And I was like, oh, that's obviously Baron.
See,
but
I didn't know it was him, but I was like, at first I thought it was Caleb. I was like,
no, I thought it was Baron because somebody had made a comment earlier that he's part woven or something.
Oh, I didn't catch
that he's like an animal. Like he has no manners or something like that. Somebody had made some sort of a comment like that in the book. And so it was already in my head. And so when there was the wolf following her when she got lost, I was like, oh, that's Baron. I didn't realize that he was the woven, like the kind of like mystical second in command to the Lumen.
Yeah.
And so then when that was revealed, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
What do you think about the whole twist on Caleb admitting that he actually, every single thing he did was actually to get her to come there specifically because of what he knows or what he was shown about their future and what he needed to do?
I definitely didn't anticipate that. Yeah.
So the whole time, I thought it was really interesting because the whole time it's the two sisters essentially pitted against each other, trying to get the crown and get this guy to fall in love with them. Little do they know through the entire book that he actually went to their father specifically to get Nor to him because he knew she was the one.
But the father made him also
bring the other sister. And so, that was just a crazy mess. But anyway,
the dad, the A10 is a huge a-hole and just a real
definitely
piece of work.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, those were all things that I didn't really see coming. I'm sure there was probably a couple other things too, but yeah. I was actually worried for a while that Kieran was going to be like a love triangle thing, and so I'm glad that didn't really happen.
Oh, yeah, I was worried that too. And then I was worried that Baron was going to be a love triangle. I was like, there's like a lot of potential love interests going on.
So I was really relieved to find out that he was like the protector and very distrusting and was trying to get her to, screw up. So, but I really liked his character a lot, actually. So, was there anything that stood out to you in the story that kind of either was off-putting or rubbed you the wrong way, or we're talking about all the things we like. Was there anything that you kind of were like, oh, that's kind of weird?
The one thing that kind of in books in general that kind of bothers me more and more lately is like antagonistic female relationships. And so I feel like it's one of those like things I like to like turn on its head now that I know I did poorly in my earlier books. And so I had wished that Nor and Satali's relationship wasn't so like spiteful and antagonistic. Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but for me, if that wasn't the case, like the story would not exist.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would have done that. But on that note, I can say that after all that her sister did to her, for her to sit there and continuously refuse to reveal her secret after trying to kill Nor multiple, like at least twice that I can remember. Nor's like, okay, well, I have secrets too, so I'm just going to take her at face value, even though I still don't really trust her and we're all going to go and everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, what? You're just going to like, she keeps getting away. She keeps escaping, first of all. So she clearly can't be contained. Yeah. And you don't trust her. You're not going to make her tell you anything. And I thought that was kind of like, for Nor.
And that secret was not revealed, right? I didn't just miss it. It was not revealed. Whatever her secret was. We know at the end she's like dying or something, but I don't think that's her secret.
No, it told her secret.
They did?
Yeah.
What was it?
That her secret is her son.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah,
I assumed it was a child.
I assumed it was a child too. But no, it was her child.
How did I miss?
I don't know. Well, that's okay. I miss big stuff all the time. Welcome to the club.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, it was her child. And I have so many
But
questions
also,
about
like,
that.
how did Noor not know
I have a lot of questions about that
that
too.
she had a kid? I was like, I feel like it's gonna be a child. But how would she not know that she had a child? Like,
And yet her dad would have somehow, because he was clearly holding him
yeah,
hostage or whatever. We still don't even really
yeah.
know. I don't
And
think
Satali,
they
I mean,
explain.
this is not a culture that wears like big frumpy frocks. Like Satali was known for, they're desert people, and Satali was known for wearing like skimpy, like. How would Noor not know?
I don't know. So
I'm sure that that's addressed in the second book because it is a duology.
Yeah. I think the other thing that kind of was like just surprising to me was I really liked the characters. They felt very mature and older, and she was only 16 the entire time. And I get that it's YA, but I'm also like, I'm just curious what the reason was. Like, you could have made her 17 and still
Turning
have
18,
those feelings
yeah.
and have sleeping with him and doing all those things. And then when have her turning 18, and to me, and this is all right, this is all the, you know, social constructs of stuff that's in my head, right? Like back in the day, or fictitious worlds, you could probably be doing the shit when you're 11, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, for me, I was just like, but I just wonder what made her decide to make her 16, you know? Because again, she did feel a lot older to me, so I guess it was just really surprising.
She did, like, in terms of just her, excuse me,
maturity,
her, like, and like her worldview and her experience, but she had a really, you know, crappy, for being basically a princess. She was also like extremely abused. So trigger warning for people. I guess.
That's true.
There's like on page physical abuse from her father. It's also like a wife murderer.
But yeah, like I said, none of those things like took away from the story at all. Those are just little things that kind of nestled their way in my brain.
So you had asked about some of the twists earlier, but you didn't ask about the soul one.
Oh, her mom.
Yeah, that she was her mom. Did you anticipate that?
Yeah, I anticipated that one.
Oh, I thought she was going to be Soul
herself.
Yeah, like reincarnate, or, you know, like reborn or on Earth or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't expect but then the more that once they were revealing more about her mom, I was like, oh, maybe.
I liked that. I forget his name, but the old priest guy was
the
cool.
Old priest. Yeah.
I liked him. I really liked getting the backstory with the dad and everything and what happened. And anyway, okay, so I think you kind of just alluded to the fact that did you read the beginning of the next book or no?
No, I have not yet.
So at the end of the audiobook, there's the first chapter of the next book, and so I listened to it and I was really excited, and then and I kind of still am, but I also was just like, God, is she really gonna die? Because I really actually want her and Baron to get together. So I'm hoping that's
that's
what they want.
I read the description for book 2. That's going to be whenever I finally finish Spells for Forgetting. The House of Wolves is going to be my bedtime book.
House of Wolves. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I was hoping. I didn't read the blurb, but I was like, I know she's clearly setting it up for him to be, and especially because he's very emotional when she's dying, and she's like, take care of my son.
Maybe that's when it's revealed.
Oh, maybe.
So I didn't miss it.
Like, maybe not. Well, so I only learned it when she was telling him. Maybe that could be true. That might be true. All right, sorry, I lied. Well, I don't know. Maybe I didn't lie. But...
Well, I still thought, I was like, that's got to be,
you were right.
Like, her behavior, I was like, it sounds very.
There's no other reason to be so desperate. So
yeah. And like the way she was like, it's, you know, you don't understand, but I don't know why she wouldn't just tell her.
I know.
But she's only 18, right?
I guess.
She's a year older than Noor, who just turned 17.
By the end of the book, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to read the second book, so I take it you already said you.
I have the
if you can.
hardcover.
Well, of course you do.
It's right here.
There it is. Oh God, I've got a leaner.
Yeah, no, my shelves are packed. I have to do some rearranging.
Hey, there are worse problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any other thoughts? Any other really cool scenes or notes you want to leave readers with? I'm trying to think if there's anything like big that we were forgetting about. It was just really fun. It was a pretty
really
easy
fun.
read.
The like rich mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it like we're just the magic was and the mythology was so like deeply interwoven into the civilizations that she built. Like it was just really, I really enjoyed that aspect.
And I also want to say, like, it's not over the top either. It's just kind of flawlessly just woven throughout. It felt really natural and really easy to follow. I think again, the hardest thing for me were the names. And I think that's because I needed to see them just for my brain to be able to process.
Yeah. I will say it does. I mean, like we said, she's 16 turning 17. Like her birthday is in the book. But for people who are looking for a spicy fantasy romance,
yeah,
this is not it. It fades to black.
Yeah, but the tension was good, and I want to go to Moonland.
I know. I want to go to Moonland too.
We can go moonlight bathing.
Yeah. I would be all about that's the yeah. I want to go swimming in the moonlight.
Yeah. Sigh.
Yeah.
We'll just have to create our own worlds and go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you don't have any final thoughts, I guess that wraps up this edition, the very first episode of our new season. And that was a great book to start with.
That was a great book to start with. It makes I'm like even more excited about this.
Yeah, I know. That's really exciting. I guess we can't really do anything. I'm trying to figure out. It might be worth it for us to put in our Discords a list of some of the books that we're going to be reading, so people can go get them. And I know we don't have the Facebook group anymore because of the hacking and all that, but I wonder if it would be worth it to just list them, so if people want to read them, so they can listen and they can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We can both announce it. Like I have a book club channel in my Discord.
Yeah, I do too.
I can announce it when I'm in what the next book for No Shelf Control
That's a good idea. I'll do that too.
Yeah.
I'll do that too, because I think that helps out our author friends. And well, I say that they're not all of them are actually our friends. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. We're really just want to read these, support these authors and read their books. So yeah, we'll go ahead and keep you guys posted about what we're reading. We'll try and get better about giving you a heads up, so that if you do want to read with us and then listen to the podcast after reading, then you can do that with us. So
yeah. I'm going to try to like belatedly take a picture of this one and put it up on Instagram at least too.
Yeah. Well, you might as well.
Tag
it's pretty.
Casey.
Yeah.
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 So
cool. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode, everyone. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support. If you are just coming in to season 3 and you haven't listened to any of the other ones, we have 2 other seasons. And the first one, we have guest authors. If you want to go scroll back and see all the different authors that we had on. I don't know, how many episodes did we have? Like 50 or?
A lot. That was definitely the longest season so far.
Yeah. And then we decided we wanted to switch it up a little bit.
We wanted a little more freedom in our book choices, but I think that
that kind of backfired. But
yeah, we ended up putting some constraints on ourselves.
That's okay. We're learning as we go. And then last season, if you weren't listening, we did book to screen adaptations as well as big, supposedly awesome book talk sensation books.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you are interested in scrolling back through the episodes to see if there are any books that you've read and or are interested in hearing our random chatter about, then please feel free to do that. And we'll go ahead and try and keep you guys posted on what we're reading for this season.
I do have one final thought, actually, which is something that's really interesting going from the last season of reading really big books, like mega bestsellers and stuff, from sandwiched between season 1 and this season. Season 1 had a lot of indie authors also. Is that there isn't really something, there's not really something special or different, or like there's not an it that the mega bestseller books had beyond
that made them
like it really feels like luck or just this random thing that happens. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not saying it the way that it's in my head, but it's just like the indie books can be so amazing, and like just because something is a bestseller or
it's amazing.
Yeah. That's because something gets made into a movie, you know. It's just interesting to really look at the books that get picked up by the big publishing houses versus the ones that, well, now it's not so much indies. It's not that they're rejected, it's just that they don't care. We don't care.
They're like, nah, we're good.
No, I don't want to give up my like artistic freedom. Thanks.
But I see what you're saying. I mean, it's hard too, because we also went into season 2. All we were doing was we're going off all this hype. And so, of course, I feel like, again, setting ourselves up for failure. A lot of books, I mean, you can't live up to this ridiculous hype that's everywhere. So then you read it and you're like, it was okay.
There was a big book talk book that we both tried reading it before we even got into season 2. And we've still not ever mentioned it because we both really disliked it. And it was just bad. But we're so confused because there's like rabid fans for this.
I mean, if anybody wants to know, you can message us on Discord and we can tell you. But
but it I think they're indie, actually. But anyway, so I just certainly don't want to like besmirch someone.
I mean, they're really popular, so I mean, it's not like we're gonna hurt their I mean, people probably judge us for not liking them, but but anyway, funny. They're not gonna lose any readers because of us, so
no, certainly not. So
oh, it's funny.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your outro.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think those observations are important. I mean, important because then it's like readers like, or listeners, we're just randomly like, oh, we're switching seasons now. They're like, oh, okay. Well, you know, that's what happens when you're an indie. You can do whatever the hell you want. All right, everybody. So thank you again for listening to this episode. Don't forget to check out the show notes. We'll put some links in there. And we'll also make sure you have the Discord so you guys can check out our Discord servers, keep track
check
of
out
the books.
The pretty covers on my Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. And we'll start posting the books we're going to be reading in our Discord if you guys want to check those out and read with us. And next week it's not next week. Next episode, we're going to be talking about Broken. It's a post-apocalyptic romance by Imogen Keeper, and I'm really excited because let me just tell you guys that she's in almost all my also bots, and she was like, yes, I see your books in my also bots too. So it's going to be exciting to see just to read it and learn more about her writing, and I see her face and name everywhere. So anyways,
I love that post-apocalyptic romance is a thing now.
I know.
When we wrote after the ending, it was not a thing.
I know.
At all.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm excited to read that and learn about her world and get lost in that for a little while. And she seems super sweet. So of course, I want to help support indies. So woo-hoo. All right. So in the meantime, if you enjoy the show, please leave us a review wherever you listen. And we will talk to you guys next time. Thank you for listening again. And until then, carry on.
Happy reading.